What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and having a great day. It is an absolutely beautiful day out here today. It is like the perfect temperature, and today I believe is the last day of summer, but we are reviewing the 2022 Subaru WRX Limited. Huge thank you to Tyler Wright over at Stohlman Subaru of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular WRX or any Subaru product, I'll be sure to have Tyler's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. So I just got done filming a video with the 2022 WRX GT, to which I will link the video either in this corner or in this corner. I can never remember which corner it is, but if you guys are comparing the Limited to the GT, like I said, I'll have that video linked in one of the corners. But also, if you guys would, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below, as well as hit that subscribe button. All those likes, comments, and subscriptions really help to make my channel grow, which I'm trying to do this as a full-time job, and it's hard to do, but all those likes, comments, and subscriptions really make it more attainable to do so. So I greatly appreciate it if you guys would do all three of those things. But with all that stuff out of the way, let's move into the exterior. So like I said, this is the 2022 WRX Limited, and this particular one is painted in ceramic white. At the center of the hood is where you'll find your air intake. That really reminds me of like the WRX STI. But let's start over here at our headlights, because we do have LED steering responsive headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights at the bottom of your front bumper. You get a metallic gray honeycomb grille with the Subaru logo at the center of the grille, and then the bottom half of the front bumper is a matte black plastic with a front underspoiler, as Subaru calls it. And you may be able to notice as we walk along the side of the WRX as well as at the back, is that that matte black plastic does follow through the entire length of the WRX, which leads me into my next point, which is that this does have the matte black fender flares with venting, which you will find towards your driver's side door as well as your front passenger side door. And just below those is where you'll find your 18-inch dark gray aluminum wheels wrapped in 245/40 summer performance tires. And I will give you guys a look at what that tire tread looks like right there. And taking a step back, you do get a sport tuned suspension, and it's a four-wheel fully independent suspension. And just to the right of your fender flares is where you'll find your body color power side mirrors with integrated turn signals. They are heated, and this particular one has the optional $265 auto dimming driver's side exterior mirror. Black window trim with the Limited, and then you have a power sunroof that does come standard with the Limited body color door handles, and a very aggressive side skirt that is also in that matte black plastic finish. And I'll show you guys what that finish looks like. So it's also got a honeycomb type of design in that matte black plastic, which is really cool. And like I said, fender flares above the rear tires, and the rear fenders do get reflectors. But moving to the business end of the WRX Limited is where you will find your body color trunk spoiler right there, Subaru emblem. You also get black taillight surrounds as well as a backup camera just below your Subaru emblem. And then on the left hand side of your trunk, Subaru lettering, symmetrical all-wheel drive badge, and then on the right hand side, WRX written out in chrome. Taking a step back, you have a black trim piece that intersects your Subaru logo. And then the bottom half of the rear end is where you'll find your matte black rear bumper with integrated diffuser and quad tip exhaust, just like you would find on the GT. One thing that's kind of cool about the rear bumper is that you have this thing right here that you could cut out and you could put in a rain light, which I think would look pretty sweet. But reflector over here, a reflector over here as well. But I want to know what you guys think of the 2022 Subaru WRX Limited in the comment section down below. Obviously, I think you guys are like, hey man, I wish that they would have come out with an STI for the new generation WRX. But the WRX Limited and the WRX GT are both two great options. However, with the Limited, you can opt for a 6-speed manual, whereas on the GT, you can only get the continuously variable transmission. Like I said, let me know what you guys think of the 22 WRX in the comment section down below. But with all that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.4 liter boxer turbo 4-cylinder that makes 271 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. This particular one is mated to a 6-speed manual for a 0 to 60 time in 5.5 seconds if you're a good driver. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 19 miles per gallon in the city, 26 miles per gallon on the highway for 22 miles per gallon combined with standard all-wheel drive. Like I said, those fuel economy numbers are with the 6-speed manual transmission. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. All those likes, comments, and subscriptions really help me and my channel grow, like I preached to you guys at the beginning of the video about. So like I said, I greatly appreciate it if you guys would do all 3 of those things. But with that said, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, this is 2022 after all, so you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind here, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these 2 hash marks, and the vehicle will lock. Obviously, you can also unlock the vehicle with your key fob, but again, put your hand behind the door handle and the vehicle will unlock. So let's take a look at this driver's side door panel. So at the top of the door panel, you have a faux leather type material. All of this right here is leather wrapped with some red accent colored stitching. You have a nicely padded armrest that is also leather wrapped. Aluminum door handle right here, and you have some faux carbon fiber trim that surrounds your aluminum door handle. Power adjustable side view mirrors, those are your controls for that right there. Unlock and lock button, automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners, which is awesome. And this button right here will lock your passenger side windows. And then at the bottom of your door panel, you have a great spot to set a water bottle as well as a few other small miscellaneous items. Right here, Harman Kardon speaker surround. The Limited comes standard with a 11 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. The Limited also comes with a 10-way power driver seat, whereas on the GT you have those Recaro seats, but they are 8-way. So just something to keep in mind. At the top of your performance designed front seats, you will find your WRX embossed into your headrest. These seats are also ultra suede trimmed, and these seats are heated. So both front seats are heated, but let's step into the interior and see what's going on in here. So let's fire her up. So if you guys want to start the vehicle, put your foot down on the clutch, make sure you have your key fob in the interior, and push to start. And you can hear that Boxer 4-cylinder fire up. I want to make sure we are in neutral so we don't accidentally stall it. So right over here, just to the left of your steering wheel, this is your trunk release button. This is your traction control off button. And then right over here, you have a dial that adjusts the brightness and or dimness of your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is your turn signal stalk as well as your headlight stalk. So if I twist this all the way forward, that turns my headlights on. Twist this down once, that's daytime running lights on. Twist down one more, that's headlights automatic. Twist all the way down, that's headlights off. And then right here, if I twist up, that turns my LED fog lights on. However, it will only turn my LED fog lights on if I have my headlights on. So if I have my daytime running lights on, you can see the fog lights will not turn on. So headlights have to be on in order for your fog lights to be on. But I'm gonna turn the climate control on 1, and I'm gonna close this door here real quick. And let's talk about the rest of the interior. So looking straight ahead is where you'll find your leather wrapped flat bottom steering wheel with red stitching. This steering wheel is manually tilting and telescoping, and you will find those controls right under the steering wheel. On this side, this is to go back on a track, this is to go forward on a track, or to go back and forth between your preset radio stations. Volume up, volume down. This is to speak to the vehicle. This is to switch between your different sources, whether your sources be AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio, or USB and or auxiliary jack. That would be the button you would press. This is to speak to the vehicle. This is to pick up on a phone call. This is to hang up on a phone call. These buttons down here will control your productivity screen in between your analog RPM gauge and your analog speedometer. So let's control what's going on here. So I can press this button right here. That brings me to my peak PSI. Go down one more. That's what time it is, as well as the ambient exterior temperature. That's Sirius XM. We are connected to Sirius XM, the highway. And then that's no screen, that's your compass. This is your tire pressure monitoring system. This is like your trip information. This is another trip information, as well as your fuel range. Go down one more. This is your trip information A. And then back to here again is your peak PSI. Just below your peak PSI is where you'll find your digital speedometer readout. This lets us know that we are in trip A. Right down all the way to the bottom right is where you'll find your odometer. So this has 15 miles on it. And then right here, that is your coolant temperature. Right over here, that is your fuel gauge. Like I said, analog speedometer, analog RPM gauge. That lets us know that we have our emergency brake pulled up. And then you can see this box right here. So that lets us know what gear we are in. So while we're driving, I'm gonna put it into reverse right now just for sake. So R means reverse. And obviously when you're driving the vehicle and you let out of the clutch, that is where it will let you know what gear you are in. Let's take a listen to this turn signal here real quick. So that's what your turn signal sounds like. Something that's interesting about this turn signal stock is that if I push it all the way down, it will come right back to the center, but it will keep the turn signal on. So if you guys want the turn signal back off, just flip it up once like that and the turn signal will turn off. Let's take a listen to that horn. That is what your horn sounds like. WRX right down here just below your horn, and it's surrounded by some faux carbon fiber trim. Cruise control settings right over here. This is your windshield wiper stock. So if I pull back on this, that will wash the front windshield, as well as just behind that is your trip reset button. So if I press that, that will reset my trip A. So now I'm on 0 miles. So that's what that button does. And just below your trip reset button is where you'll find your push button start. Like I said, you have to have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the clutch to fire up the Boxer 4-cylinder. And just to the right of your push button start, let's talk about our 11.6-inch Starlink navigation system and surrounding buttons. So pressing on this will turn my hazards on, as you can hear them. And right here is my volume knob. So if I press and hold that, that will turn off the screen and it will give me a warning. No, I don't want to turn the screen off. However, if I just click it once like that, that will mute my audio. Press that again, it will unmute the audio. This is my front defroster. This is the controls for the temperature for the driver. These are controls for the temperature for the passenger. So this is a dual zone climate control vehicle. Pressing this button right here will turn on my heated exterior mirrors as well as my rear window defroster. And then this is my tuning knob. So let's go throughout this screen and let's talk about what's going on here. So like I said, this is the 11.6-inch Starlink navigation system, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. On the upper left-hand corner of the screen, it gives you your ambient exterior temperature readout. At the center of the upper part of the screen, that is what time it is. And you got your map, radio, media, phone, apps, car info, Subaru Starlink, My Subaru, settings. Swipe over to here and you can add a shortcut. Swipe back over to here, brings us back to our home screen. If I'm over here and I want to get back to my home screen, I can click on that, brings me back to my home screen. On the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you can click on that car-looking thing and you can turn your steering responsive headlights off. You can go into driver assistance, turn that off. Warning, you can go through that. But one thing that's interesting is when you get the manual WRX Limited, you have no driving modes. So if you get the automatic WRX Limited, you have 3 driving modes. But anyway, that's that. Press on the home button, brings us back to the home screen. You also have your different driver profiles. So you can have, you know, if you're the primary owner of the vehicle, you can have your profile. If you add somebody else, they can have their profile. Go back home. And at the bottom of the screen, the very bottom of the screen, that is where you'll find your climate control stuff. So you do get heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability. Press that. Now I got my heated seat all the way on. Now it's halfway on. Now it's the least sensitive heater or whatever. And now it is off. And obviously the same thing goes for the passenger. If I want my screen to go all the way up, I can click right here. And now my whole screen is a climate control screen. Can X back out of that, and you can see that you get some leather wrapping with some red accent colored stitching. This on the GT, however, is in suede, just like right here on your driver door is also in suede on the GT. You have a locking glove box with a ton of storage space for the size of this vehicle, so you can fit your owner's manual, napkins, straws, snacks, whatever you want to put in there. Just below your 11.6-inch screen, you have a 12-volt power outlet as well as your auxiliary jack and 2 USB-A ports. ports. You have a great amount of storage right down here to set your phone. And something that's interesting is I was just in the WRX GT with the automatic, and this whole center console here is totally different with the manual as compared to the automatic. So just something to keep in mind. I think the cup holders on the WRX GT go like horizontally, whereas these go vertically, as well as the GT did not have this, and it had like a shelf in here to hold your phone, not like this flat bottom storage down here. So just something to keep in mind. Here is your gear shifter. Obviously it's a 6-speed manual transmission. To go into reverse, pull up on here, put your foot on the clutch, go all the way over into the right, and that will bring up your backup camera. You do have a manual emergency brake, which is really, really nice, especially on nowadays. Most manual vehicles come with a electronic emergency brake, which is kind of nice, but also kind of annoying. I just kind of like the, you know, manual feel of, you know, a manual emergency brake. So that's really nice. And then right back here, you have a decent amount of storage space with a 12-volt power outlet. And I could probably say I have like 10% of my forearm fits down in there, so it's not the biggest center console storage. However, these seats are very, very comfortable. These are the performance designed front seats, so these are not the Recaros like you would find in the GT. However, these are very, very comfortable, and if you guys are on the thicker side, you can definitely fit in these seats as compared to the GT's Recaro seats. If you guys are on the thicker side, I don't think you guys are going to be able to fit in the GT with its Recaro seats. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're comparing the GT to the Limited and you're on the heavier side. This is your $400 auto dimming mirror with compass and HomeLink. Compass is on the upper right hand corner of the mirror. HomeLink is down here. It's basically your universal garage door opener. This is to let you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. SOS stuff right here. So if I have this thing pushed over to the left, when I open up the door, those interior lights will turn on. However, if I push this back over to the right and I open up the door again, those interior lights will not turn on. Opening this up, you do get a power sunroof standard with the Limited. So if you want it to just slide open, this would be the button you would press, and it just slides right back like a normal sunroof would. Push that all the way forward again, now it will close. If you guys want it to open up like this, then this would be the button you would press, and dear God, I got a race car. But close that back again and it will close just like that, and then close it, and now it's just like you do not have a sunroof in the vehicle. Let's open up these visors, because you do get a vanity mirror with a vanity light. Same thing goes for the passenger side, vanity mirror with vanity light. But there are a few features that I want to read to you guys that this particular WRX Limited does come with. So this does have the $400 auto dimming mirror with compass and HomeLink, like I just pointed out to you guys. It also has the $265 auto dimming exterior driver mirror. It also has the $152 rear seat back protector, as well as a $132 cargo tray, as well as the $132 all-weather floor mats, as well as the $108 LED map and dome lights. So these are LED, so that is a $108 option. Same thing for the rear as well. And last but not least, this also does have the $70 cargo net. So before we move into reading some of the safety features, I want to open up the trunk and show you guys what is going on back in the trunk, because you actually do have a good amount of storage space considering the size of this vehicle. I'd say you could probably fit 4 carry-on luggage bags back here. Those are your WRX floor mats, and then this is your all-weather floor mat, as well as these, I believe, are also your all-weather floor mats right there. And then under here you have your tire repair kit. So God forbid you get a flat tire, at least you have the tire repair kit to save you. But let's go back into the interior, and I'm going to read to you guys some of the safety features that this WRX does have. So the WRX Limited does come standard with a ring-shaped reinforcement frame, as well as symmetrical all-wheel drive, multi-mode vehicle dynamics control system, Subaru advanced frontal airbag system, side curtain airbags, driver side knee airbag, front seat side airbags, anti-lock braking system, whiplash reducing front seats, electronic brake force distribution, 4-wheel disc brakes with brake assist, as well as a rear view camera, brake override system, safety pedal system, tire pressure monitoring system, latch system for child safety seats, rear seat reminder, anti-theft alarm and engine immobilizer system, LED steering responsive headlights with high beam assist, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lights, and blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert. So those are some of the safety features that you get standard with the WRX Limited. And I'm gonna put the window sticker on screen right now so you guys can read along with me, and we'll talk about the MSRP. So the MSRP of this particular WRX Limited is $38,749. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comment section down below. I think that that is a very fair price, especially considering you get a very, very nice vehicle, as well as a very nice driving vehicle. You get plenty of features, and it looks really, really good as well. But I'm gonna move into those rear seats. I'm gonna show you guys what's going on with those rear seats before we move into the driving portion of the review. And we'll talk about these rear seats. Obviously, I gotta unlock the vehicle to get into the rear seats, but let's open up the door. Door panel looks pretty much the same as what you would find in the front. Automatic up and down windows. You got a spot to set a water bottle or something like that, as well as a couple miscellaneous items down there as well. And you can see the rear seats look the same. You get leather trimming on the sides, and then the entire center of the seat is in Alcantara suede. So let's move into these rear seats, and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got plenty of leg room, plenty of knee room. However, if you're like 6 foot tall, I'm 5'9", you're probably not going to fit back here very well, because I only have like an inch left of headroom because of that sloping roof design, which looks really good from the exterior. But seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, seat back pocket behind the passenger seat, center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, as well as a nicely padded armrest. So with the armrest down as well as the armrest on the door, I'm very comfortable back here. You get an O-poop handle on this side, another O-poop handle over here, as well as a hook. So if you got to pick up your dry cleaning, you can pick up your dry cleaning in your WRX. 2 USB-A ports here as well. And one thing I wanted to show you guys that has to do with the headrest on the driver and front passenger seat is that you can push it all the way forward like that. So if you guys are feeling lazy and you don't feel like holding your head up anymore, you can pull this thing forward, and now it is holding your head up. However, if that's starting to annoy you and you're like, hey, I'm gonna hold my head up myself, you push it all the way forward and let it go all the way back. So that is the least extreme, and this is the most extreme. And you can also, you know, go 1, go 2, go 3, go 4, and that's all you get. But same thing goes for this passenger side headrest as well. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm sure you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And I'm having a lot of fun driving the WRX Limited because it has the 6-speed manual transmission. But if you guys are new to watching my videos, I do rate the vehicles that I drive going over these speed bumps, and we'll see what this thing gets rated out of 10. So let's get to the speed bump. We go 5 miles an hour over the speed bump. We went about 6 there, and I give this thing about a 7.7 going over those speed bumps. I mean, it takes the speed bumps very, very well, but you can tell that it has a sport tuned suspension. What's great about the suspension is that it is not too firm, but it's not too cushy at the same time. So really, really nice suspension, but you also get a really, really nice manual transmission. So let's pull out onto this street here. Got her in first, and we'll do a little acceleration. So like I mentioned towards the beginning of this video, is that I did before filming this video, I filmed with the WRX GT, which is the top end trim level of the WRXs. There are 4 trim levels to the WRX. It goes the base, I believe it's the premium, I'm not 100% sure what the second one is, but I know it goes base, something, limited, GT, and I was just in the GT, and now we are in the Limited. So yes, the interior, as in like the seats and just the interior look, is not quite as nice as what you would find in the GT. I mean, I don't have like the Alcantara suede inserts and stuff like that in the dash and on the door panels, and I don't have the really aggressive Recaro seats. However, these seats still look pretty good to me, honestly. And like I was mentioning, I think if you guys are on the thicker side of things, these seats would probably fit you better. I think you'd have to be pretty skinny to be able to fit in the Recaros that come with the GT. And one thing that I really like about the Limited as compared to the GT is that you can opt for a 6-speed manual transmission. So if you guys are getting one of these and you're more of a driver, then you're going to want to get the Limited because you can opt for the 6-speed manual. If you guys don't really care and you guys are going to get an automatic either way, then you're probably going to want to get the GT because you know, it's just a little bit nicer. I mean, they're pretty much almost the exact same. However, you get those Alcantara suede inserts, which I think looks really, really sweet. But I do love myself a manual transmission, so that's probably why I would get the Limited. And plus, you know, those Alcantara suede inserts, I'm like, you know what, I don't really need them. They are pretty sweet, I gotta admit, they are really, really cool. However, this thing still gets some red accent colored stitching, and the red on the black looks really, really good. So I'm gonna downshift here real quick. And what's nice about the Limited is that, like I said, you get the manual, and the manual is just a little bit more engaging to drive than the automatic. However, the automatic in the GT, which is actually a continuously variable speed automatic, it shifts very, very quickly. Like the downshifts on that transmission are what you would think you would find in like a $100,000 vehicle. Usually like the vehicles that are in like the $40,000 to $50,000 price range that come with the automatics, their transmissions, they're okay, but they're not great. The transmission in that, when it comes to the upshifting and downshifting, is amazing. I mean, it's just instantaneous upshifts, instantaneous downshifts. I mean, you're definitely going to have quicker shifts in the GT with the continuously variable than what you would have on like the Limited with the manual like I would have here. However, like I said, the manual is just a bit more engaging, but the interior for the most part looks the exact same. This thing rides really nice. However, another thing that compares this to the GT is that you do not get drive modes with the manual Limited. So just something to keep in mind. However, you know, if it was me, I'm more of a driver, I'd get the manual. If this was a daily driver, then I'd maybe consider getting the automatic just because it's easier to drive in traffic and stuff like that. But this manual feels really, really good, and it's super, super easy to drive. I mean, I have installed this thing once. My buddy has a 2016 WRX STI, and whenever I get into that thing, for some reason that thing is like really hard to drive, especially in sport sharp mode. It took him 6 months to really get good at driving it. And whenever I get in it, I stall it a few times, and it's a little bit embarrassing, especially considering that I have a 2010 Camaro, and that is a manual, and I have no real problems driving that. But this thing is definitely, like, comparing this to my 2010 Camaro, the transmission in this is a lot smoother than what's in my 2010 Camaro. I mean, mine also has like almost 100,000 miles in it, but this thing just shifts so smoothly, and it's like the perfect transmission for a daily driver. So it's not too obnoxious, it's not too like notchy, it's just an overall great daily driving transmission. And the clutch is really light, which is really nice, and that aids also to daily drivability. So if I do like a downshift, I mean, it's just so easy to push in the clutch. It's like I said, it's like the perfect weight. So it's not, I mean, it airs on the lighter side, but it's not too light. It's a good weight for a daily driver, as well as like a fun weekend driver as well. So this thing could be both your fun weekend driver as well as your daily driver. So let's say, you know, you're commuting to work every day during the week, but then on the weekends you want to go rip up a back road. This thing will rip up a back road, and you'll have a lot of fun doing it because you got the manual transmission. But if you guys do not want the manual transmission, the GT, or excuse me, the Limited does come, you can choose between the manual and or an automatic transmission. But you can see, get another WRX over there in that nice blue. I think I'd probably get that blue over this white that you got here, because I think that blue looks really good. But This thing is just an overall great driving vehicle, between the clutch, between the transmission, between the suspension, everything. It just rides so smooth, and it's a really engaging car to drive, in my opinion. Seats are really comfortable. The Starlink navigation has fantastic clarity. I've connected my phone to the Bluetooth audio. The Bluetooth audio works great. The 11 speaker Harman Kardon sound system sounds fantastic. But that's not the highlight of the Limited. I mean, obviously, those of you guys who are buying these, you're like, okay, it's got the Harman Kardon sound system. That's awesome. But for me, I'm behind the wheel just for a short period of time. So I want to focus on the engine noise and on the transmission. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of ASMR with the Limited, with the transmission. So I'll be quiet here for like 30 seconds or so, and I'll give you guys some upshifts and downshifts. So downshift. When you come to a stop, you can hear that bassy boxer 4-cylinder, which is awesome. Transmission is just so silky smooth. I love shifting between the gears. I love the weight of the clutch. Like I said, it's the perfect weight for a daily but also a weekend cruiser. It's just an overall great vehicle. It feels like you can toss it into the turns. Very minimal body roll. Transmission feels great. Throttle response is great. It's just an overall great vehicle. I love the interior, like the faux carbon fiber trim, the big screen right here. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, comes with the power sunroof standard. There are a lot of standard safety features, which I read out to you guys. So this thing is just an overall really great vehicle. So those of you guys who are looking to get the WRX versus the Limited, I kind of compared and contrasted the two. So you guys can, if you guys are just tuning in to this part, you can go back and watch where I started the driving portion of the review. I compare the two between the GT and the Limited. Yes, the GT is going to come with some more features. However, the GT is also, I believe it's like $6,000 or $7,000 more expensive. So that's another thing that you can compare. This is like a 38 and some change vehicle. That is like a 44 and some change vehicle. So just some things to keep in mind. Like I said, overall, really nice driving vehicle. I love the transmission. I love the brakes. I love the look. And it's just, this transmission is really silky smooth. And the rev match is very easy to rev match. It's very easy to get up and go. And when you are on, if you're like a novice manual driver and you come to a stop and you're on like a hill or something, it has hill start assist, so it will hold you in place on a hill. If you guys are a little bit nervous about it, it will hold you in place. So it's a cheat code, but it's very nice for those of you guys who are new to driving manual. However, those of you guys, or even like me, who I've driven a manual car for what, like 6 years now, it's still nice to have hill start assist. I mean, I'll admit it. I know somebody's gonna call me a pansy in the comment section down below, who's like, hey man, when I was first started driving a car, we never had hill start assist. And hill start assist didn't really come around until like 2014, maybe even later than that. So if I had to summarize this vehicle, it's got the perfect clutch feel as well as the perfect clutch weight. It's got really nice steering feel, very minimal body roll. It's just an overall great vehicle. You get tons of standard features, And yeah, it's just a really good looking vehicle overall. But that's it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Like I preached earlier on in the video twice now, all those likes, comments, and subscriptions really help my channel grow, and they really help me get to my goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. I know I can make that happen. I just need your guys' help to make that happen. Without you guys, I'm nothing. So I greatly appreciate it if you guys would do all that. But with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.